frogs, nigga.
On my wrists is frogs. This the part where they hate. Back to back chips, golden state.
Next month, I know you got a battle later this month for the chain, right?
Yeah, I got a battle late January for the chain.
Okay.
And so, like I said, anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect to lose that battle.
Okay.
However,
I'm on the store run, I need a more cut. Big phone, yo, I'm getting pulled up. The shit can ball young, when it balled up. The fiend cash was all balled up. They picked on us, we rinsed on them. See Poppy now with different kind of dog that they sick on us. Different dopes got them sick as fuck.
You know, if I somehow had the 3 greatest rounds of his life and managed to beat me, you know, it would open up some opportunities, but at the same time, if, you know, like I said, I expect to win, but yeah, man, you know, 2019 for me is looking amazing because I feel like no matter what happens, I feel like there's tons of opportunities for me right now. URL has been paying attention to the work I've been putting in. Yep. King of the Dot is appreciating the work I've been putting in, which is why I got the title shot. So I feel like people are just now kind of starting to understand and realize like my talent level and how much I've grown and everything like that. And so 2019, man, is going to be a huge year for me, bro. And I'm excited for y'all to see everything that's in the works and everything that's being talked about behind the scenes when it kind of gets exposed to the public.
Yo, Chilla, just to zone in on you versus Head Ice battle, man, for the chain and everything like that, and all the work you've been putting in on King of the Dot. Were you upset that it didn't go down last year when it was supposed to go down?
I was disappointed for sure. I don't know. I won't say that I was upset. You know, I just, my thing was about the situation is, I've known that I've been, you know, getting the title shot probably since, you know, maybe July or August. And so for me, you know, anybody that knows me will tell y'all, like, I write quick. If you tell me right now that you need me to battle anyone on planet Earth in 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be ready. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not tough for me to put 3 solid written rounds together. And so for me, I just get antsy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like low key, I've been ready since October. My rounds is ready. I'm locked and loaded, ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when it didn't happen in December, I was like, man, like I can't wait for y'all to hear these rounds. Like these rounds is on some other type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I really want y'all to hear it because I feel like these rounds is gonna give y'all a great idea of the type of battler you know that I've grown into and that I'm growing into, because this is a little different than y'all are used to hearing, but it's so fire on a whole nother level that y'all are gonna be really impressed. So I was just disappointed that I didn't get a chance for y'all to hear that before the end of the year, because even Jay Black said it himself. Jay Black has been paying attention to my whole year. He's seen me have a classic with Iron. He saw me beat Ty Law. He saw me smoke Born in person and win Champion of the Night. He saw, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jay Black has been tuned in to all the moves I've been making and said himself on his year-end blog, had Chilla Jones won the chain from Ice at Decade, he probably would have been a top 5 contender for Champion of the Year. You know what I'm saying? Because I put in so much work last year. And so, you know, I'm just disappointed that opportunity kind of fell by the wayside. But at the same time, I can start 2019 on a high note. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just really trying to spin that into a positive, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's really all you could do at this point. But I just hope Ice is ready. I got a lot of respect for Ice. I got a lot of love for Ice. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, going against each other, we got to talk our shit. We got to do what we do, you know. But I got a lot of love and respect for Ice. And so I just hope that he on his A game, because these things I got, these 3 rounds.
Yeah, it's going to be too much.
Man, I don't know if Ice has the ability these rounds. You know what I'm saying? And if he does, I promise you it's going to be a legendary Ice that we've never seen. And so, in any case, whether he's legendary or not that night, I think it's going to be a really good battle. You know what I'm saying? I think people kind of looked at this battle like this is a weird clash. Like Ice is, you know what I'm saying, all performance and aggression, presence and bully and street, and then Chilla's all pin game with a little performance. He freestyles like it's everything Ice can do. I can't. Everything I can do, Ice can't. So people are kind of wondering like how that's gonna. I think it's gonna be a really dope match, man. So for anybody that feels like it's a weird matchup, I think that should add a little bit of intrigue to it. Like if you don't know what to expect out of a battle, I think that's a really good thing. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for that on King of the Dot.
Yo, Chilla, I got a question. Shout out to Uncle Rob, 15 Minutes of Fame. He says, who do you think won between Ice and versus Cortez?
Great question.
Watching it on the pay-per-view, like live as it was happening, I leaned toward Ice. When the footage like came out and I got a chance to watch it a couple more times, especially preparing for Ice, I watched that battle 2 or 3 times. And the more I watch it, the clearer it becomes for Cortez for me. I feel like Cortez won the first 2 rounds. I feel like he got the first clear. And I feel like, I low-key feel like he got the second clear as well.
I agree.
But, I will say watching it live on the stream, I did edge Ice the second and third. But it's also different live, man. Like in the building, if you haven't seen Ice live, you'll never understand. Like Ice is one of those people like Hitman, like K-Shine. And if you watch them live, they literally can control the energy in a room. They can say something that on camera you might be like, yeah, that was cool. But in that building when they say it, it just feels different. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand how the judges may have leaned toward Ice in the moment. But I feel like that's a trend with Ice. Ice is like, like Goods as well. In the building, that's all they care about. If they beat you live, they don't care how it looks on camera.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm the opposite. Because the footage lives forever. So I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
So I feel like you could beat me live, and that's cool. But if I went on camera, that's forever. That's what people are going to pull up on YouTube and watch for the rest of their life.
For the rest, yeah. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? But, I feel like the more old school battlers, the Ices, the Goodses, the Luxes, the old school battlers, all they care about is winning live. And I respect that too. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody got different perspectives, and back when you were battling and it wasn't on camera, that's all that mattered. So that's kind of how they write their material.
Yeah. Chilla, man, I wanted to ask you about the travesty. The Source Top 20. Kind of, there's some names that were kind of left off there. How do you feel about that list?
I'm at a point right now. I feel like we've been in this culture long enough to understand that some of these major publications, the Sources, the Complexes, the MTV Newses, some of these major publications that cover battle rap once or twice or 3 times in a year.
Yeah, it's not legit.
For the most part, they don't really know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't. I'm sure they have a connect that at maybe URL or a connect that within the culture that may give them little bits and pieces of information, but they don't really follow the culture to have a pulse on like.
I agree.
Who's really moving or what's really happening?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they don't watch. I'm sure they didn't watch A Ward beat the shit out of Geechee on a small league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't see the run Bill Collector's been on. Bill Collector's been on an insane run for the past year.
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't see that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like.
They had him on the list, but he was way at the bottom. Like it's tough. It's tough.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure they don't tune into everything. I'm sure they tune more into the URLs, the RBEs, and that's cool too. But I as a battler, I don't take offense when I'm not on lists like that. Like I would be more offended if I wasn't on a you know what I'm saying, a hip hop is realist or you know what I'm saying, people that I know are in the culture, that love the culture, that follow the culture. I would be more, you know, for me, as far as battle rap, y'all have way more credibility than a Source does or a Complex does or, you know what I'm saying, something like that. So, you know, I respect y'all lists and y'all opinions way more than I could ever respect like a Source list or anything like that.
We appreciate that, man. And Chilla too, man. Pretty much like this all week and this the past week we've been talking to like Jack Boy, you know, Bill Collector, Av, and Jack Boy mentioned that, you know, he was like the king of band, but he was also saying that he loves that platform because, you know, it forces you to rap. And, you know, he was like, you know, the performance and all that stuff is cool because, you know, obviously Jack Boy can perform, but he was saying that, you know, he wants some of these older vets because, you know, he feels that they aren't rapping, they're just performing. And the reason why I bring that up too is because, you know, for years, you know, they've been saying that you're boring and all this. Even when you switched up your style, because I think you're more energetic now. But you know, me, I'm a very bar heavy person. This is no bars, by the way. It's funny. Like I said, my name is No Bars, but I love the bars. But could you could you explain, like, you know, like, you know, what was going through your mind with all the boring talk? Obviously, I know you overcame that and stuff, but even now, some people say like, oh, no, I don't want to see Chilla. Like, how do you feel when you see that? And then you see like people with subpar bars getting a lot of praise, man.
I mean, it's just you know, in my opinion, it's just an evolution of the culture. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, anybody who watches me now and still says I'm boring, I usually don't. I mean, in my head, they probably haven't watched a Chilla battle for 3 or 4 years. Yeah. And so they're going off whatever opinion they had of me in 2014 or 2015 and, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who's watched a Chilla battle since prep knows that
you switched it up.
I was in and the Chilla I was in 2012 is two different people. You know what I'm saying? The penmanship is still there, but like the energy is higher. The performance is better.
Definitely.
There's I'm you know, I'm freestyling. I'm doing angles. I got jokes. You know what I'm saying? I bring a little bit of everything to the table now. I used to be just a pen, and now I'm a pen with a little bit of everything else. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who I'm standing in front of. If I'm standing in front of somebody who's super aggressive, I'm gonna give y'all more jokes to cut that out. If I'm standing in front of somebody who's a pen, I'm going to outright them just to show y'all why I'm the kingpin. If I'm battling somebody who, you know what I'm saying, is a street dude, then I'm going to give y'all angles. I'm going to break them down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do a little bit of everything now. It's not just like, okay, I'm battling Chilla. He's going to have 3 rounds of name flips and punchlines. It's a little bit different now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that same guy. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that in there, but it's a little bit different. So I don't take that boring talk like, in 2019, 2018, that boring talking right out the window. Like, I don't even pay attention to that no more because that's somebody who's clearly uninformed on what I've done over the past few years. You feel me?
Yo, Chilla,
I agree.
I remember that prep battle. Like, I remember when you came through, we did the predictions and shit. And I remember you had that energy too. Like, you was like, I remember you were saying it like that to me too. Like, nah, I switched it up a little bit. I'm going to do something different and all of that. And you had that run with him and the Saga where you just really came through on the big stage and was like really going crazy.
That's a fact. Yeah, I remember that too, man. You know what I'm saying? I even said that that prep battle might be over by the end of the second. You know what I'm saying? I knew what kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was so anxious to get back on the URL stage back then, bro, because I knew what I needed to do. I knew what I needed to bring. I'm such a I'm my own biggest critic, man, and so I watch my own battles. I look for my flaws. I pick myself apart worse than any battle rap fan or blogger could ever pick me apart. And so I know when a fan or a battler or a blogger is saying something about me that's valid, because if it's valid, I've already come to that conclusion. You know what I'm saying? If somebody says I'm too name flip heavy, I've already thought about that. If somebody says I'm too, you know what I'm saying, not enough energy, I've already thought about that. If somebody says I'm boring, then I know they bullshitting. I'm not boring anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I know what things are valid and what things aren't valid. and I know who pays attention to Chilla and who doesn't. You know, so back in that time when I battled Prep in the Saga, like those 2 battles, I knew what I needed to bring. I knew what I needed to do. I knew how I needed to adjust. You know what I'm saying? You'll notice in the Saga battle, I knew that everybody expected the same Chilla who battled Prep. And I gave y'all a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? But I knew Saga's first was going to be heavy because I knew that he knew that he needed to try and take the crowd from me early. So I knew his first was going to be heavy. So in the first, I cruised. The second, I turned up. And then the third round, I brought out the magazine. I knew he wasn't going to beat my third at all. So I loaded my second heavy. I made my third unbeatable. And, you know, that just shows the strategy and the genius behind how I prepare for people. I prepare for everybody individually. Some battlers have a formula. Hitman has a formula.
Okay.
His first is going to be unbeatable, and he's going to try and snatch the second or the third. He knows that you're not going to beat his first 9 times out of 10. And he's going to try and take the second and the third. Tay-Rock has a formula. You're not going to beat Tay-Rock second. So he's going to try and get the first and the third. My formula switches. If I'm battling Saga, I got a formula for that. If I'm battling Math, I got a formula for him. If I'm battling DNA, I got a formula. You know what I'm saying? My formula switches depending on who I'm battling. I know how to attack and how to approach everybody individually. So that's what I want y'all to look forward to when y'all watch a Chilla battle. We know when we watch Hitman, it's 1-0 already. As soon as we turn it on, it's 1-0. Let's see if Hitman can get the second or the third. When we watch Tay-Rock versus somebody, we know it's at least 1-1 going into the third because Tay-Rock going to get the second. So how does third look? You know what I'm saying? When y'all watch a Chilla battle, y'all don't know what I'm going to do. Y'all don't know if my first is going to be out of this world. Y'all don't know if my third is going to be out of this world. Y'all don't know if my second is going to be out of this world. Like, it really just depends on who it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing about myself that I have spent time working on is making myself unpredictable to y'all.
So pretty much each person you got to prepare for differently. So that goes to show the writing skills and the creativity. You know, like I said, and back to you mentioned, like, you know, you feel that the culture is evolving, and that's why I guess the fans want more, you know, performance over bars. But, you know, I still think we got to bring those bars back, man, because that's still the essence. And, like, you know, like Jack Boy said, you can sprinkle in the performance here and there, but we can't just have a bunch of cartwheels and circus going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got to have
That's a fact. And the culture goes in waves, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I came out in 2012.
That's true.
When I came out, when JC came out, with Magic, John, like, it became bar season. 2012 through, like, 2014, it was all about bars. It was all about penmanship.
Yeah.
2015 hit. 2016 hit. It shifted. It became about performance. It became about the big stage. It became about the Summer Madnesses, the Gnomes, the Blackouts, the World Dominations. Like, it literally became about, can this person survive on a big stage in front of 1,000 to 3,000 people? If they can't, we don't like them.
Very.
And now, with the Born Legacy, with the band, with the, you know what I'm saying, Salute to Avocado, he had the bunker going for a second. ARP got the I forget what it's called, on site or something like that. But the small rooms and the you know what I'm saying, the more intimate settings, now they're making a comeback again. So now it's starting to become bar season all over again. Exactly. So it goes in waves. You know what I'm saying? For a few years, everybody want the bars. Then for a few years, everybody want the performance. And now it's kind of shifting back into the bars. Yeah. So that's just the, you know what I'm saying, the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes.
Yeah. And Chilla, I mean, being honest though, let us not forget though, you know, because they told you, yo, man, too many scheming, and then we saw people start scheming their ass off after that. So it's like, you know, they hated you for it, but it still, you know, took, you know,
you don't do it, they're gonna be like, well,
They took it. They were still scheming. It wasn't as much, and it was like it was basic stuff, but it wasn't it wasn't as intricate as you was doing it. But like I said, people saw it. People, like I said, they can say you was boring or what, but like they heard what you were saying. They're like, okay, let me see if I can do this. And now we still here scheming. Maybe not as much, but it's still here.
Right. And my thing is this. I feel like a good scheme is one of the most dangerous things that you can, if you execute it well, you almost will always get a big reaction. Especially on a bigger stage.
Yeah.
If you know how to do it, like the way, like, for instance, Surf schemes really well on a big stage. He knows how to walk y'all through, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand
every little part of the scheme for y'all to be like, oh shit, like, like he's a perfect example of, if you know how to scheme well on a big stage, that shit is gonna hit. If you go through a whole scheme right, that's gonna hit 2, 3, or 4 times off one scheme. You're gonna get a big reaction.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's a very dangerous weapon. And it's I noticed that too last year. You know what I'm saying? Like Surf, when he battled Nitty, he had a couple longer schemes that hit really well.
Yeah.
Mook was scheming all through his battle with Verb. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just funny, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's people always want to take away your greatest strength. People always want to tell Hitman, oh, he ain't got a pen. He ain't got a pen. Yeah. I mean, his pen is not with everybody else, but his performance is ahead of everybody else. So it's like, you can't tell that man that he need to get his pen better and you know what I'm saying, like discredit his performance. That's what he do. Yeah. Everybody has a strength. Everybody at this level has a power, a superpower. Yeah. And it's always like the fans always want to try and take away your superpower and make you do everything else. Like we don't want to see Superman not flying around.
Yeah.
We don't want to see Spider-Man not swinging from building to building, nigga. We don't want to see Cyclops without the eye laser. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Let everybody do what they do. I'm a bar guy, so let me bar niggas to death. Hitman performs. Let him perform all over everybody. DNA freestyles and rebuttals. Trez freestyles and rebuttals. Let people do what they do. Stop trying to discredit people's superpowers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be my only thing with the fans. Is niggas be like, Chilla's only a pin. But I have the greatest pin there is. So, like, what are we, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we really doing? That's like saying, oh, King Arthur, he only has Excalibur. Yeah, but he'll kill anybody on the planet with that sword. So like, you know what I'm saying? That'd be my only thing with the fans. It's like, let battlers be who they are. Let them evolve. Let them grow. And, you know what I'm saying? I wish people put more energy into celebrating the battlers they like instead of discrediting the ones that they don't.
They don't. That's true. You think it's still too much politics, though?
I think it's more politics now than it's ever been, but I think a lot of that comes from the leagues competing against each other.
Okay.
And so I feel like back in the day, you could easily, because there were less battlers, because things were less competitive business-wise, it was easier for a battler to make a name in 2012. Like when I came out, it wasn't tough for me to make a name. I just had to sound original. That's all I had to do. When I came out scheming, like nobody else really was before me, I made a name for myself because I sounded original. In 2019, it's way tougher to sound different because there's 40 million battlers now.
Shit.
To sound like Chilla, or you sound like Twerk, or you sound like Nitty, or you sound like Magic, or you know what I'm saying? Like everybody will try to say you sound like somebody else, and so it's so tough to have an original sound. Like that almost isn't even enough anymore to get you to a big stage. So it's just a little different, man. It's definitely more politics now than I feel like it's ever been. But I think that, again, that's just the nature of the beast. There's just so many battlers and so many leagues now that it's almost too much. You know what I'm saying? It's almost too many battlers and too many small leagues and too many battles dropping. But it just makes it harder to find the talent that really stands out.
So you think it's pretty much like oversaturation?
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
It's definitely oversaturation. Definitely oversaturation. You know, I don't think that's on URL's part or King of the Dot's part or RBE or Bullpen. But I think when you have, like, you literally every day of every year, you can find a battle, at least one, probably more than that.
Yeah.
That is dropping.
Yeah. I mean,
somewhere. And it didn't used to be that way. And that's why I feel like we were more appreciative back then. Yeah. When you think about like 2010, URL was dropping one round at a time. And we would fiend over that one round.
Yeah.
Hollow and Big T would come out. Hollow would be in the middle of his round. The air horn would go off after 3 minutes, and we would be like, "Oh shit! I can't wait till round 2 comes out tomorrow." You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And there was nothing else dropping. It wasn't like, oh, King of the Dot also dropped Pat Stay versus Arsenal today, and RBE also dropped Ill Will and Math today, and also Gracie in Chicago dropped Young Cannon versus Gage, and it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that back then. And so like now in 2019, it's just too much. It's just too much. And so I don't think necessarily something has to be done about it. Nothing's gonna happen except more leagues are gonna come out, more battlers are gonna come out. It's just gonna get worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do think there needs to be some sort of battle rap union between leagues, between the battlers that kind of controls, you know what I'm saying, certain events and certain battles. But I don't think that'll ever happen, to be real.
Yeah.
But I think it.
Do you think that that factors into, like, because like I said, it's hard to be original now. Like, do you think that factors into a lot of these people sounding the same and like lack of creativity and going back to like performing over bars instead of being able to actually write something?
Oh, for sure. It definitely does. And nowadays you can look at 9 out of 10 up and comers and be like, I know who influenced you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know who you watch for inspiration, or I know who some of your favorites probably are. You know what I'm saying? And that was tougher to do back then. You know what I'm saying? It was tougher to do. Like, when I hear T-Top, I don't really know, like, who influenced him as a battler.
Mm-hmm.
He sounds different to me than anybody that's been out there. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to say, okay, maybe Rex, maybe I can't even really say Rex because I don't think he sounds like Rex. Mm-hmm. But I mean, just with the street talk and the drug talk, like,
yeah, his own sound.
He's different. It's the same thing with Barzz. Like with Barzz, he sounds different to me too than anybody else. And part of why I think they did so well for their class and for their time, because they didn't sound like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And so in 2019, almost everybody I see sounds like somebody else. Almost everyone sounds like somebody else. And so I feel like battlers will watch, Twerk or Nitty or me or somebody and be like, oh, if I sound like them, I can get somebody's attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also I think up and comers care less about getting to bigger leagues because they can just pay for the names that they want.
That's true.
Like, they know that they can pay to bring Twerk to Indiana and battle Twerk. It didn't really used to be like that back then. Like, I paid for JC and made a classic with him.
Oh, great! Wow.
But that wasn't a common thing to do back then.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I paid for the JC. I paid for the JC battle, and URL was supposed to be on a small league, and URL actually picked it up and said, "Oh, that's gonna be fire. Let's do it over here." You know what I'm saying?
Money well spent. Okay.
Nah, that's a fact. But nowadays,
yeah, right. Found something out.
It's like crazy. I'm just gonna pay for Twerk, and Twerk's gonna come to Indiana, and I'm gonna get to stand in front of the hottest name in battle rap today.
Yeah.
All I got is get my money up and pay for it, and he's here. Back then, like he wasn't gonna just pay for Lux and have Lux go to Houston, Texas for a battle.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't just pay for it. So he wasn't just gonna pay for math. Like, no, you had to go to New York. You had to stand outside in ciphers and battles and impress niggas. Then you had to beat a whole bunch of niggas to make one of the top guys say, "Oh, he's fire." Okay, I'll battle him. Yeah. Like, it wasn't even about how much you got for me. It was, you got to get my respect before I even look your direction.
Yeah.
It's just not like that anymore. You can call Twerk and tell him you got a certain amount of money and he's on a plane next week.
Yeah. We spoiled.
That also the oversaturation.
Yeah. Go ahead. I mean, you know, and it's interesting, but, you know, and just like you say, twerking, that's everybody in the game. DNA, K-Shine, yourself.
You know, me included. I'm not gonna hold you. Yeah, me included. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just went on that little run. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But back in the day, it wouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? In 2012, 2013, it wasn't, I'm gonna pay Chilla to come out there and do it. It was, yo, I gotta get a PG so that I can get called up to the main stage so that I can battle Chilla. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it would have been back then. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a different game now. That's another way the game has evolved. Whether for better or for worse is up to y'all to decide. But that's just another way the game has changed over the past couple of years.
Yeah. When you look at you saying, like, you know, a lot of new guys are imitating. When you say that, though, how deep? Like, because is it like because if you look at what you would consider new right now, or up and coming, with the Jack Boy Mains, the Riders, the Glue Easies, or, you know what I'm saying, the Snake Eyes, or the Mac Mells, or the franchises, are they like original, or are they a copy of new, you know, of what's already there? Even though we know they probably definitely borrowed something from the game, but do you see them as individuals, or when you look at them, do you still see like, okay, nah, you compare them to other people or styles that they probably take it?
Right. And I'm gonna let y'all know my phone is at 1, so if I cut off suddenly, it's because my shit died. But before I go and before that happens, salute to y'all. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, so we definitely got to do this again real soon. We'll give them a part 2. But to answer your question, I think Jack Boy sounds to me like old Bill Collector.
Okay.
That's just me. I don't think he's a carbon copy at all, though. I would just say that Jack Boy probably was influenced by 2012. I got the burn of Bill Collector. Okay, that's what I would say.
Talk. All right.
I don't know that, you know. I would have to watch more franchise. I would have to watch more Mac Mel. Like, I would have to watch more of these guys to tell you if I feel like they sound like or were influenced by anybody else. I haven't seen a lot of battles from anyone in that class.
Okay.
Jack Boy probably the most I've seen the most of, and so when I watch him, in my head I say he gives me a Bill Collector feel, like Bill Collector mixed with Twerk.
Okay.
All in a pot. Sounds like Jack Boy to me.
Sounds like. Would you battle Jack Boy on band?
This is my thing. Jack Boy is talented, and he definitely beat Steams to me. I thought Steams did well, but I thought Jack Boy won that battle clearly. Would I battle Jack Boy on band? Only if we doing it for the Band King title.
Oh.
But I hear he got some smoke with Big T, so I want to see that first.
Okay. You actually want to see that battle?
I would take the winner of that battle because Big T is also on my 2019 hit list.
Okay.
So I would be open to battling Big T or Jack Boy on band, but I would want to see them battle first, just as a fan, not even on some like they don't deserve to battle me type shit, but on some like as a fan, I think that's going to be a really interesting battle, and I want to see it.
Okay. before you go, you can give us your hit list, real quick. I know you mentioned some names that URL was kind of offering, but your fans definitely say Rum,
Big T, Big T, O-Red, Av, Nitty, B Dot, Mike P, Chess, Steams,
that's a lot, boy.
Jack Boy, we can add over there.
Okay.
That's 9. I'm gonna give you one more for number 10. Let's say. Man, I'm starting to want to do a JC rematch. I'm not gonna hold you.
I'm gonna keep it.
Want a JC rematch.
I'm gonna keep
and not because I want to not because I want to like do better than the first battle, but just because he's gotten so much better. Like he's like over the past few years, I feel like everybody has had their run as the best pen in the moment. JC had his run. I feel like Nitty is on a run right now where he easily could be the best pin alive right now. I feel like I'm the greatest pin as far as over time and consistency and body of work. But as far as like penmanship that is scary, Nitty is scary, Twerk is scary, JC is scary. Like, I feel like us four right now are like just on a plane above everybody else. But I would say that's my 10. I would say those are my 10 names. And like I said, I'm leaning toward a JC rematch because I feel like JC right now is easily one of the coldest writers. And he's gotten so much better. He's evolved as much as I have. And obviously he's having a lot of success on that URL stage. So I wouldn't mind, especially if URL does a night of rematches.
That's what
I would be open. I would be open to me and JC or me and DNA doing a rematch.
Okay, definitely. Real quick, you had Chess on that list, and I know that you say you're not calling anybody out that you don't think is going to give you a challenge, and I think everybody knows that the young guy Chess on 100% is a problem. So
for sure.
Is that the reason why you put him on that list?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Chess is one of those people where he's gonna win a round. For sure. He's gonna have one round that makes you scratch your head and be like, yo. This is young LeBron right here.
Young God. Yeah.
And he's gonna have one of those moments in almost every battle. And I wanna stand in front of that.
Hey yo, Chilla, one last question, man.
Say again?
Yeah, one last question before you get off. Trey 4 from San Diego, California. That's one of our staff on the West Coast division, man. He says, ask him about if he wins the title. Are there any restrictions where you can't perform on any other stages, like Summer Madness or RBE?
That's a great question.
I think for normal champs there are, but I've never been a normal anything, and so I've already had those kind of discussions with King of the Dot. And chain or no chain, you'll definitely see me floating around.
I mean, because once you said that you had discussions with URL, I figured that that wouldn't be any issues when you beat Ice. I don't see you having a problem with Ice, but that's just me. You know what I mean?
I don't see myself having a problem either, but
And also, Ice gonna swag talk you though, man. He got that swag talk, man. He got that OG. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I hope Ice doesn't have one of those bars. Who's colder, me or Chilla or something like that. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Sure. Yeah, but real quick, also Chilla. I know Boss Town. You representing and all that. Patriots is losing next week. My Cash App, I can send it to you if you need.
My phone's about to die.
15 minutes, so we good. Chill, you still there?
Yeah.
I think we connected. We might have lost him, man.
Yeah, he was on 1%. That was the longest 1% ever, though. So,
because somebody said it usually lasts for like 15 minutes, so we good when it's on 1%. Ask that nigga what kind of phone he got shipped in on 1% for 7 minutes.
Yeah, salute the Chilla, though, man.
Y'all pay too much attention.
Yeah, you already know, man.
He said he's gonna give us a part 2, so maybe like another day or two.
I'm still winning off the 8s, not to be confused with the 8s. But you know that I'm a steamer. Rims on the Beamer. I'm in the hood chillin' with the Phoenix. I'm Steph Curry, Bunch, Draymond Green.